do you think OnlyFans is dying down, or is that still a growth? No. Yeah, okay.
No, I think that OnlyFans is doing very well.
That's gross. But I think that like men find that more controlled. Women who are just, also destroyed by pornography are like, well, I may as well just make money if I'm just going to be performing sexuality. And men are like, I just pay for it so I don't have to show up as a real person and actually be in a real relationship that, like it's just the monetary transaction of it. I think on both the creators and the consumers, it's just the wrecking of society that's created that.
Yeah. And I think that is actually like what you just said about the women's reasoning for going on OnlyFans. I think that's connected to the fact that Gen Z is not interested in sex because, people who are pro pornography and men who lie to themselves or are very naive and use pornography and don't want to feel guilty about it or question that, they'll or pay for sex. They like to pretend that these girls are doing it, whether it's porn or prostitution or OnlyFans stuff or, thoughting themselves on Instagram are doing it because they're just really sexy, really sexual women who just really like sex. But the truth is that none of that has to do with any kind of female sexuality. Like those are all fake, contrived performances to get men to pay them or validate them in some way. It's all just a manipulation. And, those girls are not on OnlyFans getting turned on and enjoying themselves despite what it looks like. It's not posing in pornographic ways is not comfortable. It doesn't feel sexy. Like try taking a nice photo of your body that you're going to send to somebody. You have to contort yourself in all sorts of weird ways so that it looks flattering. It doesn't feel good or sexual or natural in any way. So for them, if that's sort of already how they're existing online and they don't know anything about their own sexualities and they're not having orgasms, so they don't even know what it feels like or what it means to be a sexual person, or they don't know what their sexuality is. They really don't know what it feels like to feel sexy, actually, not just to look sexy for strangers on the internet. Then of course they would be like, well, why don't I just get paid for this on the internet, on OnlyFans? Like there's nothing intimate about this anyway. This doesn't probably doesn't even feel very private for you if it doesn't even have anything to do with you or sex or sexuality.
It's like, if I have to interact with sick men who have these pornified expectations, I may as well get paid for it.
I mean, they're all strangers on the internet, so what difference does it make? Why not take their money? That's empowering. That's I mean, young women have been told that since the early aughts, right? This has been a primary message of third wave feminism, that like what empowerment means is getting, I'm getting paid, so it's empowerment. As if like plug that argument into any situations. Like slave owners are making lots of money because they have slaves. Are they empowered? Is that empowering? Like, what are you talking about? Just because you get paid for something, that doesn't automatically make it empowering. Unless I guess arguably it does, but then empowerment isn't an inherently positive thing or word. I mean, what I wrote about this week was that I saw some chick who I've never heard of before, thank God, named Sophie Rain, who's 20 years old, and she's famous for making like a crazy amount of money in her first year on OnlyFans. And she is supposedly, I don't know if I buy this, but she's supposedly a virgin and Christian. I mean, I sort of think this is all about her porn persona, because I mean, this is exactly what men want when they're looking at pornography. First of all, she looks really underage. Like she's a really, really young face, which she knows, and she's using that. So she has this like sexy, porny body and an underage face. So that's a big part of the reason why she's famous. And then, she sells herself as this virginal Christian. She says she made $43 million on the platform in her first year. So like between November 2023 and 2024. And she got into a beef with Bonnie Blue, who's one of those who's doing something similar to that. Lily Phillips? Yeah. So apparently, I don't know how this is freaking possible, but apparently she had allowed, she allowed over 1,000 men to penetrate her in a day.
No, it's like, how? It's so disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a disgusting thing to do in a lifetime. Never mind in one day. That's too many men.
Yeah, she's really messed up.
God, I can't even think about it. But, this Sophie person came out and said that Bonnie Blue was harming the image of the platform, i.e. OnlyFans. She says, it's no longer about women empowerment. It's shock value. And she's making a joke out of all of this. We built this space to take control of our bodies and make money on our terms. But that's what young women believe, because that's what they've been told.
Right.
They've been told that because they're making, again, these are messages that came out of third wave feminism.
Definitely.
And that were obviously embraced and co-opted by the sex trade lobby.
And maybe manufactured by the sex trade lobby with the overthrow of the old women's studies departments by the third wavers. Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken or the egg question. But it's that whole thing that, I've been writing about forever and that we've been criticizing forever, which is that, just because somebody consents technically doesn't make it good or okay. And just because you're getting paid doesn't make it good or okay. Mm-hmm. And just because you chose it, like technically, okay, I made a choice to do that, it doesn't make it empowering or good or anything. And, this is, like turning the platform into a joke. I mean, it's a platform for porn and prostitution. Right. So like, what do you think porn is? It's what Bonnie Blue's doing. Like the whole thing that porn does is it demands more and more extreme acts from women because they get used up and spat out and become old news so quickly. Like you're like really big and you're making a lot of money when you're fresh meat and you don't have to do very extreme things because people are like, oh, she's new, she's young, she's barely legal, she's a virgin. And then you start doing more and more and more and able to, in order to be able to maintain a career in pornography, you have to do more and more and more extreme acts to keep getting attention and to keep getting views and to keep getting paid. So that's what Bonnie Blue is doing. Mm-hmm. That's how porn works. That's always how porn has worked.